Welcome everyone, I'm Coach Cola. Now let's get into this workout, starting with the warm-up. First thing we're going to do here is the sumo squat stretch. I call it that because you get into a position like a sumo wrestler. You want your feet flat on the ground, slightly pointed out, and you want to squat all the way down. You want to really get a stretch in the hips there. You get a stretch in your quads, around those knees, and just kind of open you up there. You want to push your elbows into your knees, pushing it out. Hold about 30 seconds. Then we come up, get you a nice little stretch there, the rectus abdominals, your stomach muscle in the front. And let's get back into it again. Now you might say it looks like I'm doing a number 2 here, but in actuality this is the human being's natural position to do a number 2. And if we were doing it like this today, we probably have a lot less constipation out there. So take heed. That was a good stretch. Let's move on to the next thing. We call it total body extensions. So you bend your knees there, your arms, bringing it all the way up, and you want to come up on your toes, trying to get a full body extension there. On your program, I have 2 sets of 15 here. You can take about 15 to 30 seconds in between your sets. This is a good way to just get everything in your body moving, get your blood flowing, just letting your body know we're getting ready to work out. Next we'll go into a couple yoga poses here. This one is the downward dog. You want to get in there really good. As you can see, I will push my head and my chest down towards my knees and get a really good stretch in that shoulder, in both shoulder areas. Have pretty big shoulders, they get pretty stiff. And then we come down into a cobra stretch. Really extending, get your head up, chest up, and get your pelvic as close to the ground as possible. Get a really good stretch in that rectus abdominal area, your front abs. Let's get into it again. We want 2 sets of that. Stretch it out real good. Push the floor. Push the floor. Try to get your heels to the ground and feel that stretch. We come in and let's cobra it out. Should feel good. Shouldn't hurt. Now let's move into our core exercise. But before we do that, I want to show you the stretch. Here, it really helps you get that mobility in your lower spine, so you can really twist and get everything active. So any twist in motion, this is going to help. We call it thoracic mobility that we're trying to address here. So you get that. You see I have my leg up and I'm reaching here for my right leg and pulling. As you see, I'm pulling both legs up and I'm trying to get both of my shoulders flat on the ground. I'm trying to get my back flat on the ground as much as possible. And I'm feeling a lot of pop action going on in my spine, which is really good because it's really opening me up. It's going to allow me to really hit those obliques and those side abs as we get into our ab routine. Now it's just one side. Let's hit this other side. To get that left leg up nice and high. Hold it with my right hand. I'm really trying to work that stretch, and now let's take it to another level. I'm reaching. Yeah, I have a little thoracic mobility issues myself, but I'm working on it, and we can work on this together. So let's get this stretch. Now I get my shoulders back on the ground. Things are popping and working out and opening up. We're about ready to move on here, friends. I'm in the pretzel. But this pretzel feels good. I hope you're feeling it yourself as you're doing it along with me. Now let's get to this ab routine, starting off with alternating leg touches from a prone position. As you can see, we have the opposite arm onto the opposite leg, right arm, left leg. We're trying to reach for the toes, engaging the core, lifting the whole torso up with the legs. We're trying to get up there as high as we can, activating those core muscles. We're hitting the side, obliques. It's a good one to just wake everything up. And let's tighten that up. Let's work on that six-pack. Here in your program, you will see we have 2 sets. 15 here, 30, 45 seconds in between. Next exercise is the prone hips to the sky. This one you want to keep those shoulders planted firmly on the ground. Keep your heels on the ground. You're pushing from your heels, trying to get your pelvic up as far into the sky as possible. Tighten those glutes to propel you or to push you forward. You should feel a good stretch in that pelvic hip complex. You want to hold it at the top of the squeeze. We're hitting that core, we're strengthening the core, we're activating the core. In the program, we have 2 sets of 20 here. 30 seconds rest in between your sets. This might be hard at the start, but the more we do this routine 3 to 4 times a week, the better we'll get. Soon we'll master it, and we'll be ready to progress to the next level. Stretch it up there. Get it up there. We move on to the Russian twist. Excuse my camera view here, please. I'm working on upgrading this equipment, but we just want to get this video done and out. It's a little red, but you can see me as I'm holding a medicine ball. You don't need a medicine ball, but we're trying to tap on each side, both hands. Without the medicine ball, you can just use your hands. Here's an advanced version of that. Just lift your feet off the ground and let's do the same thing. You can feel this a lot more in your core. If you're ready to take it to the next level, challenge yourself and pick your feet up and let's touch that ball on each side or touch the fingers on each side. That was the Russian twist, 2 sets of 25. This next one is the bent knee lateral prone twist to the floor. Come all the way down, not touching the floor, but as far as we can get, as close as we can get to the floor without touching the floor, keeping our shoulders, both shoulders right and left on the ground, twisting the torso. And this mobility that we have to do this was helped by that stretch you saw earlier, addressing thoracic mobility, so we can really get the most out of this exercise. And if you want an extra challenge, point those legs up and let's move that full leg over. This makes it a little harder, a little bit harder, but you get a lot more activation in the core. 2 sets of 10. If you can't get all the reps, that's okay. Just do the sets, as many as you can, and we'll work our way up to full completion. Next exercise here is the iso plank. You just want to get in a good plank position, forearms on the ground, flat back. You don't want to be your back to curve downward. You don't want your butt too high in the sky. You want it flat. You want to feel it, full core activation. You want to hold that. Make sure you breathe. You want to hold it. Here it says 2 sets of 20 seconds. That's the minimum. Hopefully, if you can hold it longer than that, that's fine. But we really want to feel it. Don't let yourself slouch. Correct your form as you feel it. Let's get the most out of this. Now let's get to the resistance exercises. The first one here is called prisoner squats. We call it that because you're putting your hands behind your head, assuming the position as if you would as a prisoner, and we're going to squat. Now remember, as you squat, you want to make sure that you're pushing from the heels, not from your toes. A lot of times you'll see my toes raise up just so I can be sure that I'm pushing from my heels. You're coming down, keep that chest up, push the butt back. Have good balance. And I'm doing 25 here. If 25 is too much, that's okay. Just break it down into a couple sets. I only have you doing one set of 25, but you can break it down to 2 sets of 12 to 15, or we can do all 25 at once if you're ready. Next exercise, give your legs a break. We go into the arm circles. And as we're doing arm circles, we do 25 to the front, and we're going to do 25 to the back. A position that you always want to make sure that you assume as we do any exercise is to pack your shoulders. Bring your shoulder blades together in the back. Relax those muscles between your neck and your shoulders. Relax those traps and keep your core tight. Now we move on to the split squat. Form is very important. We want to make sure that we're going straight up and down as possible. Get some good distance here. And that front leg, you're pushing up from the heel, not the toes. As you can see, sometimes my toes come off the ground. That's because I'm not pushing from my toes. I'm pushing from my heels. You want the right muscles involved, the right muscles working. Don't allow the knee, when your knee bends forward, to go over your toes. Keep your knees behind your toes. And a lot of that depends on your positioning and how far your legs apart in your split. As you drop down, you're going to feel this in your glutes. You feel this in your hamstrings and also in your quads. We're doing one set of 15 on each side. Next one, overhead clap. So you can see I put my shoulders in position and we're coming over the head, clapping the hands at the top. One set of 25. Don't go too fast, be under control. Make sure you feel what's going on in your muscles. You might feel some burning in your shoulders, but that's a good burn. That means we're working it. We're trying to get stronger. If this is not a challenge, or the arm circles are not a challenge to you, add some weights. Feel free to add some 2-pound weights, up to 5-pound weights. You don't need much, but we're doing a lot of reps. You can also do more reps. Lunge matrix is the last exercise. As we're doing a lunge forward, the lunge 45 degrees, and a lunge straight out to the side on each side. We're just doing one set of 5 on each side. The full sequence is 1. In your program it says one set of 10, but we're talking about 5 for each leg, full sequence. Let's see, 1, 1, 1. That's a full sequence on the left leg. 1, 1, and 1. Full sequence on the right leg. At this point, you're probably feeling it, which is good. That's what we want you to do. And as we finish up here, you're going to move into the next phase, which is a brisk 30 to 45 minute walk. I won't show that on here, but that's what's next on the program. And if we do this 3-4 times a week and you follow a good diet, if you have the recommendations that I sent out, you follow those recommendations and you do this program, you will see results.